What is up everyone? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys are finding me for the first time, my name is Zachary Harris. I do travel and adventure vlogs. Being a musician and producer, I also occasionally do music vlogs. I just got back from a 9-month backpacking trip. 4 of those months was spent hitchhiking from Berlin all the way to Georgia, through the Balkans, through Turkey, Georgia, sailed a boat to Malaysia. It was incredible. Link in the description below if you want to check that out. But in those 4 months, I learned a lot about hitchhiking. So today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 essential hitchhiking things that I think make hitchhiking way easier and items that I think everyone should have. So let's get started. Okay, so item number 1, and by far personally I think the most important item you can have on your list, and that is a map. With hitchhiking, you want to get your ride as fast as possible. You don't want any chances to slip up, so you want to make it as easy for the driver and for yourself as possible. And with a map, you can visually just point out. If he's going only halfway, you can easily just ask him to point where he's going. If it's in the right direction, boom, bada bing, hop in the car, you're good to go. Now, you might be thinking, why would I choose a road map? Why can't I just use my phone? I've got Google Maps, Maps.me, much easier. One less thing to carry. However, there's a few reasons why I think a road map is far superior to a phone. Reason number 1, usually maps come in like multiple languages. For example, here you've got English as the secondary language, as it says Turkey, but up here in Turkish it says Turkiya. English usually takes the name of a city and changes the spelling and the pronunciation of it. So if you get in a car with someone who doesn't speak any English and you're naming a city that he's never actually heard of because he can't speak English, he's gonna have no idea what you're talking about.
English, yeah?
Yeah, only English. Yeah. Because most likely you're going to be able to look at it and you're going to know which one you're going to, and he's going to be able to just see it and go, boom, I know where to take you. Reason number 2, a phone can run out of battery while a road map can't. So if you're hitchhiking for like 3-4 days straight, like I did from Albania to Turkey, I only had one opportunity to charge my phone there, so it was most likely was going to run out over the 3 or 4 days. If it runs out and you have no idea where you are and you don't have a map, hitchhiking becomes way harder because you're almost hitchhiking blind because you don't know which road to take, where you're going.
I have no idea where I am. I have absolutely no fucking idea.
You can't just point out places to people. So that's another reason why a road map trumps phones. Reason number 3, when I was in the Balkans, majority of the people who were picking me up were age 50 plus. And when I saw them pull out their phone, they didn't have the brand new Samsung or iPhone or any kind of smartphone. They were pulling out a tiny little cheap $20 prepaid phone that has no internet, nothing, can just call and text. They pull up and you hand them an iPhone that's got this crazy integrated map, they're gonna be looking at it just like not knowing what is going on. Now, one of these bad boys is super cheap. I picked this one up for about $3 or $4 in Turkey. I picked up one in Austria that was awesome. It covered the whole Balkans. It folded out really easily. The map came in English and German as the 2 main languages. Trust me, this is what you want. A map is the first thing you buy. Essential item number 2. And this is going to change depending where you are in the world, but that item is a tent. Now, the reason why I say it's going to change depending where you are is because of the climate. For example, a tent like I had was absolutely perfect in Europe because it doesn't get too humid at night. The temperature usually drops, so it keeps you warm. You don't get too hot in the morning. There's also plenty of beaches, plenty of abandoned buildings. There's heaps gas stations that you sleep in the gas station for free. So there's heaps of places you can sleep totally easily where you can get nice flat grass and pitch a tent. However, if you're in Southeast Asia, then I highly recommend a hammock. This is because a lot of the beaches in Southeast Asia are usually privately owned. A lot of land and space is usually privately owned. A lot of space in Southeast Asia is taken up. So I recommend if you're in Southeast Asia, then you want a hammock. Obviously there's so many trees everywhere, it's a lot easier to hang a hammock up than it is a tent. I prefer a tent because it's slightly more private. You can put your bag there, take your important stuff and just leave your bag there. I mean, some people say that's a bit crazy, but as long as your tent's kind of hidden, you're just going out for a few hours. I've done it, I did it heaps of times on my trip, it was totally fine. The reason why a tent and hammock is important is because you never know with hitchhiking where you're gonna end up, how far you're gonna get. You can't rely that you're going to definitely make it 8 hours to your next hostel or couch surfing place. So you need to be prepared to sleep outside and just crash whenever you get too tired or when you know you're not gonna be able to get any more rides. Right, so item number 3, and unfortunately I don't have one here. I lost it towards the end of my hitchhiking trip. I think I was in Turkey when I lost it. That is a torch. But not just any torch, one of those torches where you can like put on a headband and wear it around your head, because that makes setting up a tent in the dark so much easier. Now again, you might be like, I'll just use my phone. But trust me, when you're trying to set up a tent and trying to find a place in the dark to set up when you're tired and it's 11:30 and someone's just dropped you off on like the side of the street, a headband torch is just so much easier. It basically frees up your hands so you can just get the tent set up as quickly as possible. You can chuck your bag away, you can just look through your bag easier. I lost mine, I was devastated. I think I just bought like a little torch and I just constantly had it in my mouth like, and it's just a pain. You just don't want to go with it. Just headband torch all the way. Now, item number 4 is definitely like something you probably don't need, but I really enjoyed having it, and that is a gas cooker. It's just a really nice feeling, like having some food that you can cook in your bag, having some coffee, and just knowing that no matter where you end up, you're going to be able to eat. You don't have to stay near a town to have to be able to eat. Oh, yeah. And it's really nice just being able to walk for an hour and find like a private spot and knowing that in the morning you can wake up and eat breakfast. It's just one of those things that make you feel a little bit more comfortable while hitchhiking, and then it really doesn't matter where you end up. Okay, item number 5, and this is something that's definitely worth spending some money on. I didn't do it, I regretted it. It really screwed my feet up, really screwed my legs up. Towards the end of my hitchhiking trip, I was actually kind of suffering from just too much strain on my body. And this item is really important, and that is shoes. Now I started my trip wearing Vans. I was wearing just crappy Vans like similar to these. Shit, don't get them. I then upgraded to some of these, just like little slip-on Nikes. I thought these would be good. No, don't get them. Now I went a bit extreme and I upgraded to some good old boots. These had memory foam, they were properly like insulated, they gave me super support, and they're waterproof up to about here. So these were awesome, but they're slightly too heavy. I recommend going out and spending at least $200–300 on some really, really good like runners, like athletic shoes or hiking boots. Something that's gonna give you heaps of support, because I didn't, and I really regretted it, because by the time I was towards the end of Turkey, I was just in so much pain from walking all the time. You're putting your body under quite a bit of strain if you're hitchhiking for 3–4 days straight. You're constantly standing, you're constantly walking. And especially if you have a heavy bag. My bag was almost up to 20 kilos. I thought it was only 10. And then when I got on the plane to go home to Sydney, I was like, whoa, that was 20 kilos? Oh. Yeah, so I really screwed my legs up. It's only now that they're getting a bit better. But for a while, I was struggling to walk, even without my backpack, for more than half an hour because of the bad shoes I was wearing. So there's definitely something you want to get. Good shoes. Right guys, so I hope that helps you a little bit. If you got any questions, leave a comment below, flick me a message, and I'll happily answer them. I'm gonna be doing a few more videos like this. I'll probably do a video on how to hitchhike, how to find a good spot, and I really wanna do a video on how to find a good camping location, because I get a lot of questions about that as well, like how do you wild camp, where would you sleep? I did a lot of wild camping while I was in Europe, and I think I've like figured out a really good way to find good spots. So I'm gonna upload a video on that as well. It's been really crappy weather in Sydney. I really wanna do some really cool stuff, but I've been working a lot. The weather hasn't been that warm yet, but I'm gonna be doing some awesome adventures soon. I got a trip down to Melbourne booked in December. I'm going water skiing in 2–3 weeks, so I'm gonna be vlogging that. It's gonna be sick. So I can't wait to show you guys that. But for now, thank you all for watching. Much love, I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.